things. Diversity is, however, that was my family. The fact that there's dignity and honor in being human. What is dignity? What is dignity?
Self-respect.
Self-respect. What else is dignity? Is dignity something that you have or something that you give? It is in fact both, right? It is in fact both. And the interesting thing is when you don't give people dignity, you don't give them, or you don't recognize their right to exist and live, they'll try to take it from you. For example, I don't know if this happens where you live, but it happens all the time where I am. That I'm at a traffic light or a stop sign, and there's a group of teenagers trying to cross the street. One would think, with their youth and their beauty, they could cross faster than they do, right? And I used to think it's because their pants were hanging too low. But I've seen them really, hike them up or put those really tight belts on and get moving. But then I realized one day, I'm sitting there at the light, and one of the kids is passing by, and one of them makes direct eyeball-to-eyeball contact with me. And it's walking slowly. As if to say, you're kind. You adults don't see me any other time, but you will see me right now. And so when we don't give people dignity and honor, they try to get it in all sorts of ways. What they don't understand, though, is that I have really good car insurance and no points in my license. So, boom. Honor. Honor is respect at a high level. Who have we said as a society we will give high levels of respect to? Who? To the president. All right. So the office of the president. Who else? Our parents, right? Our grandparents. Those people who have done things on our behalf. Servicemen and women. Law enforcement officers. We've said we will give them high levels of respect because they fight battles for us that sometimes we've never even known existed, right? Being. Please raise your hand if you can answer yes to these next two questions. Raise your hand if you either passed a test or purchased a ticket that allowed you to be born on this planet. All right. None of us have done anything to bring ourselves here. We all accepted an invitation. I don't like to think about how that invitation came. It's very disgusting. But we all accepted an invitation to be here. And we're doing the best we can to be human. And when I searched for a definition of human, I found something very interesting. That it has two definitions. One being a noun, being a biped, having opposable thumbs, a big brain, and a belly button. If you ever encounter a person without a belly button, be concerned. Right? A noun. But also, that human is also an adjective. And what do adjectives do? They describe the noun. And so what is it that we teach the youngest of our species, our nieces, our nephews, our sons and daughters, about what it means to be human? What do we teach them? Respect. We teach them respect. What else do we teach them?
Language.
We teach them language. What else do we teach them?
Love.
We teach them love, right? So this is what it means to have true and authentic diversity, that there's dignity and honor in being human, all right? We're going to do one last activity, and I think, can I just let you out early? Would that be okay? All right, cool. I'll let you out early. And I have markers for folks who need something to write with and write on. Thank you so much. So I do have permanent markers that some folks may need or want, so I'll put those down at the end of the row. So, very simply, very simple question. What did you learn growing up? And on the back, I want you to respond to this question in a very particular kind of way. So what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to look at the categories across the top in gray. And I'd like for you to look at the blue categories on the left. And I want you to tell me what each of those blue categories taught you about each one of those groups in gray. All right? But I want you to do it in a very particular kind of way. I want you to put a plus if you learn something positive about those groups across the top. Or if you learn something negative, I want you to put a minus in that box. Or if you never had a conversation, I want you to put a 0. All right? So if you learn something positive, put a plus. If you learn something negative, put a minus. And if you didn't have that conversation at all, put a 0. You can have pluses and minuses in the same area. All right? So for example, parents and family. What did they teach me about Asian Americans? I have pluses and minuses there. Friends, what did we talk about? What did they try to teach me about disabled Americans? I'd put a 0. I would put a 0 there. All right? So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes to do that. If you need a marker, just raise your hand and I'll bring one to you. There we go.